Hello, all you hardcores here on the members area. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the voice of hardcore boxing. Video number 9 of 10 for September. The number 10 one will be Matt Skelton tonight. That'll be out about 9 p.m. It's now 10 past 10. I'm joined by John from London. How are you doing, John?
Very well, sir. Very well. Yourself?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm taking a break after today for 10 days. Because I don't like the way boxing's going. I think we're repeating ourselves, a lot of YouTubers, and I just need to take a step back and have a look at it from a different perspective and just take some time out, jot a few ideas down and just gather my thoughts, because I really, really don't like where it's going at the moment. The stuff at the weekend, what did you think about it, John? Evander Holyfield?
Hey. God, it was poor. It was poor. God, has boxing really hit that low? Oh man, it was just cringe. Yeah. You know, it was cringe. Not good for boxing at all.
No, not good at all.
You know, it was a shame really, because I don't want to see Evander go down like that, and just the whole saga surrounding boxing, it was just a train crash.
Do you feel that Evander Holyfield approaching his 59th birthday is probably one of the final nails in the sport of boxing?
Absolutely. I think that all this whole exhibition thing needs to end now, because we're going to see something bad is really going to happen soon, because Holyfield just had no business being in that ring.
No.
He literally had no business being in that ring.
No, he didn't.
Oh, if it's an exhibition fight, I mean, Ali did a lot of exhibition fight, but we all know that it was more on the entertainment side of things. Because Ali did do a lot of exhibition boxing, but it was for entertainment factor. But this one over the weekend was just train crash, really. It's a lot of people now just looking at boxing as a sport that's dying, desperate. You know, just yeah.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that people like David Haye and Joe Fournier care for boxing fans after what they say?
Nah, it's all about money for David Haye. It's all about money. All those guys don't care. It's all about the paycheck. They don't care what the punters think. They don't care about boxing. You know, they're gonna squeeze boxing like it's, you know, when you've got an orange juice or a lemon, you squeeze the juice out. They will squeeze it out until all the juice is completely gone. They don't care about boxing. They most probably put a bet on that fight. 100% guarantee. I reckon they put a bet on that fight. David Haye and Joe. We're going to go 12 rounds and they put a bet on it.
Now, it's been said to me by 3 different people who I respect in the sport of boxing that people like David Haye and Eddie Hearn, they've known for a while that boxing's on the slide. They're just trying to get as much as they can out of it before it goes into a recession. Do you remember like it did in about 2000? It went into a recession, didn't it?
Yeah.
Do you feel that that's why the people are trying to get as much as they can out of it?
Absolutely. And let's face it, it went into recession. AJ brought it back, had a very big influence. He played a massive part. As much as you might not like him, he played a massive part, brought boxing back. As I always say, he's a golden egg. And even with him, he's most probably got 2 fights left and he's out. And I'll tell you what, heavyweight would just go down. It would decline straight away. Once you take all the stars out, and he's a star, it will go downhill. Yes, it is hitting that recession. Yes, those guys are cashing in. Who else is there? If you take AJ out, who else is there? Who brings, Fury does. Apart from those 2, who brings the fans?
I don't know if Fury does. You know, he's never fought in England for years.
That's true, actually. That is true, actually.
He's never been a big ticket seller.
That is true, actually.
They tell that many lies. Nobody trusts him anymore.
Yeah,
that is lying. But Joshua's a big star. Can Dylan White carry the sport in the UK?
Nah. You got to remember, when you break boxing now, you got to look with Anthony Joshua. You got to remember, he brings the female fans in. He brings kids. He brings mums. He brings all kind of demographics into play.
Yeah.
There's not many fighters that do that.
Yeah.
Can Canelo do that? No. Who's gonna? And the fact that Anthony Joshua's kept the fights in the UK has also made him a huge star.
Mm.
We're not staying up to 3 o'clock in the morning to watch a fight. Whenever the fight's on, everyone's at home watching or in the pub.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's what's made him.
Mm-hmm.
That was the difference between Bruno and Lennox Lewis back in the days. Lennox was always fighting in the States. So he never really built a solid fans in the UK, just like you're saying about Fury. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same thing. So, yeah, I don't see anyone coming up. Dylan White, no. I think once Tyson Fury's out of the picture, AJ's out of the picture, I think boxing, Wilder's not a star. No one cares about Wilder.
Do you feel that Billy Joe Saunders' interview were any good at the week yesterday?
I haven't even actually heard the interview. I've been meaning to listen to it. What was he going? What was his thoughts?
It looks like he's saying that he didn't make the decision about fighting on. Ben Davison called the fight off, but I've got a video on my computer and I've just watched it, and it shows Billy going back to the corner. Mm-hmm. And Mark Tibbs looking at him and he's saying, "Mark, my eye." And then Mark replied, "Bill, have you got another round?" And Billy went. And then Mark turned around and went like that to the referee. So that to me shows you, Mark Tibbs did stop the fight, but Billy, they're trying to change the stories all the time. Look, we know what we saw. Yeah, DAZN took them videos out, didn't they? And they dubbed the audio, didn't they? And things like that. I can understand that, but yeah, Billy did come out and say the better man won, but they still never covered, IFL still never covered the part where if he quit or not, because he quit in my eyes. There's no shame in that, John.
No, I agree. You know what? I agree. Action speaks louder than words.
Yeah.
Right? What you just said there is basically what you just said there. Action. Body language just gave it all.
Yeah.
You know your fighter in and day out.
Yeah.
You know when something is not right.
Yeah.
And you know when he doesn't want to carry on. You know.
Mm-hmm.
He's waiting for you to make the call because you know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
You're with this fighter 24/7 most of the time. You know. Seen him sparring, you've seen him in training. You know when that body's saying, "Oh, mate, I can't carry on." But you're right, there's no shame in saying, "Mate, yeah, what it is what it is."
Do you feel, John, that Billy Joe Saunders had never been in a firefight before, and this is the first one he was in? And do you think he had something happen in his head and he thought, "I don't like this"? Do you think that happened?
I think it happened. I think Billy Joe's plan was never, I don't think he had any business knocking out Canelo. I think the plan was to go 12 rounds. I think that was the plan. Box, jab, move. Go 12 rounds.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, he was doing okay. I don't think he would have won the fight, even if he went on points. Yeah. But he was doing okay. He was boxing well, he was moving well, but Canelo was closing in. He was closing in. And Canelo is a very, very tricky fighter. He's like a fox. Sets traps, constantly setting traps, feints, moving angles. You know, he knows the ring well. He's got amazing boxing IQ. He's seen fighters like Billy Joe hundreds of times. This guy's could adapt to different style because they're bringing different sparring partners in with different styles. So they're used to fighting different style. And back to what I was saying about Anthony Yarde the other day, he needs to be bringing different sparring partners in, fighters that wanna take his head off. That's how you improve.
Yeah.
Fights that are going to stretch you out of that uncomfortable zone. That's going to put you in that uncomfortable zone and see what you do. But yeah, you're back to your thing about Billy Joe. Yeah, I think he got, he dipped his foot in the freezing water, and I don't think he liked how the fight was going, especially the latter part of the rounds. Yeah, I think it was getting too hot in the kitchen for him, but he was doing okay.
Yeah. What do you think to Chris Eubank saying that he wants to fight Billy Joe, and then Billy Joe saying he wants 5 million? And what do you think to all that?
Again, they're just trying to avoid each other. They should just get it on. You see, this is back to what you're saying about boxing on the low again. Just get on with it. This is the reason why, when you showed me the stats the other week about boxing on decline between, I think, the age of 18 and 24, moving away to UFC, this is the reason why. UFC, Dana White doesn't tolerate this nonsense. You are going to fight that guy. I don't want to hear what you've got to say. You're going to fight that guy. And that's why we love UFC.
Do you feel, though, John, that UFC can do that because they're dictated to by one man, whereas boxing, we're dictated to by about 6 or 7 different organizations, aren't we, promoters? And
I agree. There's no monopoly in UFC, and Dana White controls the whole thing.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's good. That's why we get the fights that we want to get. Whereas in boxing, too much politics. You've got the WBC, WBA, IBF. It's too much politics. So the fans don't get the fight they want to see. This is what's killing boxing. As much as I don't like Dana White's wage structure, I don't like his wage structure. I think he underpays them, doesn't look after them that well. But we get to see the fight we want to see.
Do you feel that Al Heyman signing Jake Paul and now looking to make the Conor McGregor fight is good for good for boxing or bad?
It's just a circuit now. I don't think it's good for boxing. Boxing is shifting direction now. It's desperate. Boxing is so desperate now. It's shifting direction. There's no stars anymore. There's no, when you take out Canelo, AJ, Fury, it's what's left.
Do you feel that boxing's run its course now over the last 100 years, and that there's it's maybe more than 100 years, but do you feel we could be seeing a massive shift with the sport that's going to affect everybody for the long term and for the worse of the sport and not the better?
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony Joshua inspires a lot of kids. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When he's out of the picture, boxing again will fall apart. Just like Mike Tyson did, just like Leonard did, just like Hearns did. We don't have those fighters anymore. Are you going to tell me that Chris Eubank Jr. inspires young fighters? Are you going to tell me about Conor Benn inspires? We're not getting that anymore. We're not getting those raw guys anymore. That's the problem about boxing. So everyone's looking at, UFC. It's exciting. You're going to see the fight you want to see.
Oh.
As I said, I don't like the way Dana White does it, but the fans always get what they want to see.
Yeah. What do you think about Josh Kelly leaving Eddie Hearn after being offered a 5-fight deal with Matchroom and DAZN to sign with Wasserman Boxing and Sky on a 5-fight deal? What do you think to that? And do you feel that Adam Booth had a lot of influence with his decision? Because
Absolutely. Adam Booth played a massive part. As we said last time we spoke about Sky, obviously Sky they must have something that's interesting, that's a bit different from the deal that he's got, that's enticing for him to move over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's something that we don't know. But Sky definitely the format's going to be completely different this time. I think they're going to bring something very interesting and fresh to the table.
Yeah, maybe Wasserman Boxing and Sky can maybe save it because it's heading for Skid Row, and people, and this is why I'm taking a break after today for 10 days, because it's negative. I'm not seeing anything positive. For example, Eddie Hearn put Josh Kelly in with David Evanesian, but he won't put Conor Benn in with him, will he?
Again, Conor Benn is like AJ. He like the golden egg. Who used the golden egg? Protect the golden egg. Conor Benn, there's something I just good, okay fighter, but it's just getting too big for his boots.
Yeah, it's starting to worry me.
Yeah, I liked him when he first came out, quite humble, quite thing. You know, there's a fine line between cockiness and confidence. Yeah, there's a fine line there.
Yeah, I agree. What did you think about Big John Fury, big fighting man, saying he wants £1 million to fight Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson, Lennox, or Evander?
We could raise that money with him and what's his name? What was the guy? What was the guy that was going to fight in Essex again?
Mickey Theo.
Yeah. What about if we raise that money for the fight?
Well, Mickey offered it. There were 250 grand for John up front, plus resting gate money and pay-per-view, so he could have had $1 million if they fought Mick. So why he's coming out with all that, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
We knew what they spoke about a year ago. There were all the contracts drawn up. They had a date and everything, and John didn't want to know. But John would rather lose against one of them than Mick. That's what it boiled down to. He could have had $1 million to fight Mick. The money was there.
I know.
So
I think, John is just, you know, again, like Tyson, they like the attention, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, just crave for attention.
What do you think about the situation with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? Do you think they're going to fight next month? Because if they don't, it's going to end up in legal battles, we've been told. With Heyman.
It's a mess at the moment, don't you think?
Yeah.
It actually might not go ahead.
No, I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope it does.
Yeah, I hope it does. You know,
we need this fight, John. We need this fight.
Absolutely.
The sport needs it.
Absolutely. I'm a massive fan of Tyson Fury. And if this fight doesn't go ahead, he's going to lose credibility big time. He needs to get rid of Wilder, the big dosser. He needs to get rid of the big dosser by all means. And let's see the AJ fight. That's the only time. If we see the AJ fight, that might save boxing. Because it's going to climax the whole thing. This is what everyone wants to see.
Yeah.
But I think he'll rather vacant the... Has he got a belt? He'll rather vacant the belt.
Well, if Tyson vacates and he fights without the belt, they're still going to take legal action against him, Al Heyman. So he's got to fight Wilder now, or he's going to be in an £80 million lawsuit, apparently.
Jesus Christ.
So I think the fight's going to happen. I've heard from people close to me that it's going to happen.
Has he been training, though?
He's been training, apparently, yeah. But if it doesn't happen, or he gets a freak accident, injury or something, there could be all sorts of implications because they keep pulling out, don't they? I mean, he's pulled out a load of fights, Tyson, over years.
Yeah.
You know, if something's not right, they just pull out. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But the sport needs this fight more than ever because UFC fans are emailing me constantly saying, you need to come and do what you do with UFC. And I don't understand that game. I don't study it. I don't watch it.
I watch it.
Yeah, well, but they all fight each other. And if you get a loss, it don't matter, does it?
It don't matter. It doesn't matter, no. No, this is what I'm saying about the difference between boxing and UFC. You're going to fight that guy because you're a champion. You're going to fight that guy. There's no way around it. You're going to fight that guy.
Yeah.
You know, we see the best fight. That's why UFC is one of the fastest growing sports.
Yeah.
You know, on a Sunday morning, fights are on. Every week, most week, UFC's on. Yeah. But we need to see the Wilder and Fury fight. That's going to put a bit of light into boxing again. You know, to be honest with you, I think AJ's doing his best. He hasn't turned he's fighting everyone that's in front of him. You know, he gets a lot of stick. AJ does fight people, any fight put in front of him.
Yeah.
You know, I hope he gets through Usyk. I know you don't want him to get through.
Well, I've got a bet with Mickey.
Oh, man.
Mickey Theo owes me 200 quid. He says double or quits for Usyk Joshua. I said, I'll take Usyk. He said, I'll take Joshua. I said, go on then. So I've got 400 quid riding on Usyk. Come on, Usyk.
What, knockout or points?
I just said a win for Usyk.
Yeah. Come on, it's in UK. 12 rounds. It's Usyk has no business winning if it goes 12 rounds.
He's got to stop Joshua to win.
Yeah, absolutely. If it goes 12 rounds, forget it.
And if he doesn't, he's got to stop Usyk to win. He couldn't stop Chisora, so who's to say he's going to stop Joshua?
Yeah. But you see, AJ brings a lot of money to the country.
Oh, massive.
See, that plays a big part in boxing. So when a fight is going 12 rounds with someone like AJ, you go make sure you've put him down at least 3 times. It can't go 12 rounds. I'm sorry, it can't go on points. Sorry. It's going to go to AJ because everybody eats when AJ fights. Everybody eats. The area eats. You're getting people flying all over the world. And that's what AJ's done to boxing. That's why he doesn't get the recognition that you get.
Yeah.
It creates a lot of job for people. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you love AJ, don't you?
Yeah, no, we're from the same place. So, yeah, Femi, he's a good kid. He's a really humble kid. I know you want to see him lose.
I think he's a prick, mate. He's a knob.
Why'd you say that?
I don't know. You know, when he came out with that Black Lives Matter speech and all that, and don't buy anything from a white man's shop and all that, I thought he let his son down with it, because up until then, I thought he'd always been pretty humble, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think you were badly advised, John.
I was going to say that. You know what? Honestly, I haven't met AJ. I think he's actually a genuine guy, genuine person. Yeah. I think maybe people around him just gave him the wrong advice. He should have articulated himself a lot more better.
They dealt with it better. Whenever he makes a mistake, like he said, he had a bit of a back and forward with Eddie Chambers. Now, Eddie Chambers was a Peter Fury fighter, so I do know a little bit about what went on there. But whenever AJ makes a mistake, they always deal with it properly. He always stays quiet. The big PR machine kicks in and they sort of do it right, don't they? He came out and did them Google adverts and were being humble, after that Black Lives Matter speech.
Yeah.
Well, I feel that he were pressured into doing something, because when George Floyd died, it was a big thing and it was terrible what happened to him, how he were murdered by the copper. But I think that AJ felt he had to do something, and it was bad advice, but he tends to learn from his mistakes quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah. No, absolutely. He was ill-advised, with badly advised. I agree with that. I think he could have articulated himself a lot more better, because, I know what he was trying to say, but it just came out the wrong way. And he's got a massive fan, and I think he lost a lot of fans. And I think now maybe people are just slowly buying back into him. But some people still haven't forgiven him for what he said, and you know what I mean. But I do think generally he's a nice guy. He's a nice kid.
What do you think's going to happen with Dillian Whyte? Because he's got Otto Wallin next in October.
Look, we don't want to see this fight. We want to see him and Andy Ruiz. I'm not a big fan of Dillian Whyte again, but we don't want to see these fights.
Do you feel
we don't want to see it?
Yeah. Do you feel that it's always an angle from Dillian Whyte just to drag it on for one more easy fight and that kind of thing?
Yeah, but the one more easy fights are the ones that always cost him sometimes. But I just think that we want to see the Andy Ruiz fight. See, those are the fights that people want to see, that the fans want to see. That's how we get boxing back to where it should be. Give us the fight that the fans want to see. When you start giving us fight we don't want to see, we start switching off. Yeah. When if he's fighting Andy Ruiz, that Saturday you're going to be around. Everyone's going to stay around because everyone wants to see the guy that beat Joshua. See how he deals with that fight. But if you Walter, I don't know. No one wants to see that fight.
Yeah.
Hey, or even him and what's his name? This British kid again. Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
Even him and Joe Joyce, it's quite exciting.
He never mentions Joe Joyce, does he, Dillian Whyte, or Hrgovic?
Yeah.
Now, Eddie Hearn offered him Hrgovic for £500,000 the other day, and he said no. No, he said, no, I want more money. Now, Hrgovic and Joe Joyce are a nightmare for Dillian Whyte, aren't they?
Yeah. It's a risky fight, but I love Dillian Whyte, but we don't want to see those. We want to see him and Andy Ruiz. That's what we want to see.
Would you like?
Be a tear.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Would you like to see Hughie Fury versus Dillian Whyte, John?
Oh, that'd be interesting. But that's what we want to see. We want to see a Great British dust up. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
That's what keeps boxing alive. When you keep giving us guys that no one's interested in, people switch off. People start to switch off. Right now, boxing is at that point where if you're not giving people the right fights, they'll start to switch off.
Yeah.
They will start to switch off. And that's what's happening. We're losing fans every day.
Yeah.
Watch, when AJ fights this month, boxing will be back up again. Now, when he's back up again, you need to feed us with another fight like that.
Capitalize on it. Capitalize on it, yes.
Yes, keep feeding us those fights. That the standard will be so high, you can't switch off.
Joshua Usyk is a great fight. I mean,
it's a great fight.
It's two contrasting styles. It's well worth the money. And people need to get behind it. I'm going to watch it. I'm probably going to pay for this, actually. It's probably going to be first.
Same.
No, actually, I'm going to my mate's house down south to watch it. Paul, how are we doing? But he lives in Kent, so he'll be paying for it. So, Paul, nice one. But if I want, I would have been paying for it. So I'll get the crisps in, Paul. But yeah, I think it's a great fight. It's two contrasting styles. Two Olympic gold medalists from same Olympics, heavyweight, super heavyweight. One defeat between them, but AJ avenged it. Usyk's undefeated. Joshua's the bigger guy. The other guy's a very slick boxer, very good southpaw. Joshua's the straight 1-2 merchant, bit of power, big and strong. It's mouth-watering fight for us, isn't it, John?
Absolutely. It's I can't wait.
Yeah,
I literally can't wait for the fight because sorry, I just had a call coming through. Yeah, I can't wait because style makes fights. As I said the last time, I don't know what the game plan is with AJ, but AJ needs to slow him down.
Yeah.
Because Usyk is going to be moving around like a light heavy. AJ needs to slow him down, and as a simple way, just go to the body. He needs to go to the body to slow him down for the latter part of the rounds, and then that's the only way he could get to Usyk. Because Usyk is just going to be jabbing and moving angles, and whereas AJ is quite stationary, which would be a perfect fight for for Usyk, because Usyk is just going to be boxing him all day long.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Either AJ does that or turns it into a dog fight. Close him up, rough him up, stick his elbow in his nose, not in his nose, but just really, really rough him up, tie him up, body shots, just really, really dirty fight. Because when you fight someone like Usyk, he's so clinical, so clean, so technical, you got to really break that. You got to make him start complaining. You got to really rough him up. You got to tie him up. If AJ stands back, AJ's going to get picked apart.
Yeah.
You can't stand back with someone like him. You have a go-to fire. You have a go-to him, rough him up, really, really rough him up, tie him up, and just you have to have a clean plan to beat Usyk. But AJ can't do what he did in his last fight with Usyk.
Do you feel that if Joshua loses to Usyk, do you feel it's right that they have a rematch, even though it's a mandatory fight? Do you think it's right that they should have a rematch?
Well, this is what I was saying to someone. Can you remember? I mean, back in the days, Mike Tyson, there was none of that rematch clause because he knows what he was going to do. He was that confident.
Yeah.
Tyson was that confident.
Yeah.
That's the confidence these guys are bringing to the ring back in those days. They know I know I'm going to win.
Yeah.
But they know it's a tricky fight. Eddie's not stupid. Eddie knows the golden egg might get clipped. Yeah, that's why it's mandatory. And they have to save that fight because they have to save AJ because of Tyson Fury. That's a massive box office.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, I think after the Fury fight, mark my words, I think AJ's going to retire.
You reckon?
Yeah, there's too much hungry lions coming underneath that want him. Too much hungry lions. I wouldn't, if I was him, I'd do the same thing. There's too much hungry guys coming for him. It's too much. 2 more fights or 3 more fights. Mark my words, that will be it for him. He'll just go behind the scenes, and he'll still make a lot of money.
Well, he's already worth 130 million, Joshua, isn't he already?
Yeah,
net.
Needs to give me 10% of that. But yeah, yeah, he's 2 more fights out.
And who do you think that's going to be? Usyk and then Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury, yeah, that's it.
Do you think he'll only fight Tyson once?
That's a very interesting question. I think it's going to boil down to the fight this month, and well, next week or the week after. I think after the Usyk fight, it just depends on. So Fury's a mess at the moment because we don't know what's going to happen if he's going to fight Wilder next month. I don't know if it's a reverse psychology to make Wilder unsettled, because you and me know boxing is psychology as well. Yeah. If you make your man feel that you might pull out, it will affect his training mentally. Yeah. He's thinking, should I go 100%, or should I just take it easy? You're constantly thinking, and once you get your man thinking, his game plan is going out the window. But back to your question, yeah, I think it'll be a 2-fight because Fury's going to have a clause in it that if he loses, rematch, and definitely AJ will have the same thing as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Let's talk about women's boxing for a minute. What do you think to Ebanie Bridges boxing in fishnet stockings?
I think she's trying to bring some attention to boxing, and he's working. We're talking about it right now, aren't we? Yeah. It's working because that went viral.
Yeah.
Sex sells, unfortunately.
What do you think to Ebanie Bridges, John?
Yeah, she's not bad. She's all right, not bad.
Would you give her one?
I'm married.
Oh, yeah.
But she's a decent fighter.
She seems to be spending a lot of time with Kugan Cassius.
I know, but again, she loves attention, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
She's gonna be one of those ones where her whole image is bigger than her talent. If that makes sense.
Yeah, Savannah Marshall's signed to fight Shields, and Shields has signed to fight her on Sky at some point in next 9 months. Savannah fights in October in Newcastle. They're hoping to get it in December or March. But do you feel that that'll be the biggest female fight that we've ever seen in female boxing when it happens?
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, that's the fight we want to see.
Yeah.
Shield runs her mouth so much. I watched the documentary. She's a great boxer, great athlete. Savannah just a lovely person, just a really humble, just a genuine person. I love to see that fight. Shields has been saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But Savannah all the way. Savannah would beat her hands down. We'll take her to school.
Yeah. I had to laugh when Savannah tweeted her and said, your feet have been planted there that long, they're taking root.
Is that what she says?
And it's not like Savannah, because I know Savannah very, very well, and it's not like her to say anything like that. But she's obviously got caught up in a bit of Twitter beef.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the re-emergence of Sky and Johnny Nelson and Bean, and Johnny Nelson coming out saying that Eddie Hearn is not needed no more. We don't need a front man.
Wow.
I know, yeah.
Wow. Well, that's very interesting. It's interesting that people are turning on Eddie Hearn now.
Well, I've heard legal letters have been sent off regarding a few things here, there, and everywhere, and fighters being tapped up, and also it's all gone a bit sour, hasn't it? So it's going to be a frosty fight week next week, isn't it, for the Joshua Usyk carry on?
Yeah, but it's just interesting that people are saying all this stuff about Eddie Hearn. I think that empire might start to slowly crumble. I think the foundation wasn't solid in the first place. It was solid to a certain extent with his dad. And I think people never warm to Eddie Hearn, even when he comes in the ring, and no one wants to see him talk.
They boo him, don't they? They boo
him, yeah. And obviously that shows that people, you can't fake the public. You can't fake those fans. They can see through him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks, and he's losing fighters left, right, center as well. And obviously Joshua's going to go on and do his own thing. I don't think Joshua's going to sign with him.
No. He's staying with Sky, isn't he?
Yeah, there you go. So, but Johnny Nelson makes me laugh because all these guys got paid. He Eddie Hearn looked after those guys.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Well, they're taking money under the table. We don't know, do they? But they were all getting looked after in more ways than one by perks and tickets to darts and bit of free travel. And yeah, you can jump on our private jet. There's a couple of spaces that they were all looked after, and they've all turned on each other because every man, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, in boxing, they look after themselves.
Absolutely. And you know what? And to a certain extent, okay, that's fine. To a certain extent, you've got to look after yourself, but it's costing boxing. That's what's happening. It's costing boxing. It's making boxing. Boxing is facing a nosedive because of that. Because everybody is juiced out of boxing. They've taken everything out of it. Now it's just left a skeleton, really. But Johnny Nelson, I don't know. He just makes me laugh. The guy just makes me laugh.
Yeah. I want to ask you. Bellew, I'm just coming to Tony Bellew there. Tony Bellew, he's lost 2 stone, and there's a little rumour doing the rounds, a very small rumour, that he might be ready to glove up again. What do you think to that?
Oh, yeah. Look, Eddie Hearn is, these guys hang around with Eddie Hearn, and Eddie's going to say to you, look, man, if you want to come back, I'll get you a light fight, get a decent payday. Yeah, of course he's been training. He's been training to come back. Look, leaving the limelight, leaving sometimes these guys, when they finish from boxing, they don't know what to do half of the time. It causes depression if it's not done properly, if you don't have a plan B, plan C. Your ego is checked. And that's why these guys can't leave the spot. That's why you're getting guys coming back, like David Haye. They just can't leave it alone. You can't move on to other things, bigger things. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I saw it a few months ago. He still feels he's still got something left.
Yeah. Or is it just the fact that they want more money?
Want more money. Eddie will always give you that fight, will always give you something, will always put you under a big fight. The next big fight, Eddie must probably put him on it.
Eddie's struggling though at the moment, isn't he? The Kell Brook Khan fight's dead in the water because Sky outbid Eddie, so that there's no room for Eddie at the end there. And the DAZN schedule's pretty bare at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, it's crazy how it's just the whole thing is just turning.
The landscape changes quickly in boxing, just like that, kid. Just like that. But what can you do?
It's a shame.
Well, listen, John, thank you very much for coming on. You've been a great addition to the Porky Express train. This is going to go on members area in the next 15, 20 minutes.
All right.
Thank you very much. I hope you're well. What you got planned for the rest of the day?
Got work. Then I'm going to Brighton later on, and for the weekend. My rabbit got killed.
Your rabbit.
Yeah, by a cat. Yeah, my daughter's rabbit by a cat, and it was just horrible. So I'm going to take it to the vet.
Take what to the vet?
The dead rabbit.
To do what?
Vet. Why
would you take it there if it's dead?
Well, to obviously to bury it, or
yeah. All right. Well,
what would you do?
I'd bury it in back garden.
Yeah, I got a dog. That's the problem.
Oh, I might dig it up. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't like to. I had 2 rabbits called Fluff and Boomer, right? And this were when I was about 13. And dogs got into my garden. And they got into where they were. They opened it, obviously, and got in and killed them. And that was pretty traumatic for me when I was a kid, especially my mum and my brother. But I don't like to hear any pets die. My friends, Dale Nichols, you know, has been on channel, Dale.
Yeah.
The voice of Hardcore Pay-Per-View. His dog just had a seizure in front of him, 18-month-old, and died in his arms. He's in a bit of a bad way. So it's awful when pets die because they just love you for who you are, pets, don't they?
Yeah. They don't see anything. They just, you're right. They just love who you are. And it's just sad. This thing, we've had it for a while. How many years now? Maybe, I think about 5-6 years.
Is that how long you've had your rabbit?
Yeah. And there's 2 of them. So the other one is just by itself now. And apparently they're meant to be, 2. Well, meant to have another. And they're brothers. So
what are you gonna do? Get another rabbit?
No. Well, it's up to her if she wants to get another rabbit. But we're gonna keep this one and see how it gets on.
Who do you live with, John? Just you and your lass?
Yeah, my lass and my kids, my daughter.
Oh, your daughter is obviously rabbits for your daughter kids, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they've took it bad then, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, they take it bad, but it's just one of those things. What can you do? But it's just really sad, really.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. No, not to worry. So I'm gonna get that sorted out and then work and then weekend and
Okay then, John. Well, listen, you take care and have a great weekend.
No worries. I'll catch up with you soon. Yeah.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.